Learn how to add the blur effect in Adobe Photoshop. Let's check it out. Okay, here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and what we're going to do today is add this cool blur effect, and it works really well if you have a colorful background. So let's go ahead to this different image right here where you have your model or your main subject right there in the front, and you have a background that we're going to add a blur. Now, by default, the camera has a little blur, and that is basically with the lens that was used, but we want to kind of do it in a more artistic way. So what you're going to need to do is you need to select your subject first. Now you can use the pen tool to go around your subject, or in this case I'm just going to use the quick selection tool, and I'm just going to draw down, and basically the quick selection tool lets you quickly select whatever you're trying to make a selection out of. Alright, so as you can see, I am just clicking and holding, and basically I'm kind of like painting the selection on. Now if you look up here at the top left right by his ear, the selection missed his ear. So I'm going to make sure I click there. Now if you go too much and select outside of your main subject, hold down the Option key and you'll see that your cursor turns into a minus, and now if you click and drag and paint over that with the minus, it takes away the selection and puts it back where you want it to be. Now down here at the bottom I missed a little bit, so now I think I've got that done, and that's pretty good. Quick selection tool is there to do exactly what it says, to quickly select something. Now, if I was to add the blur effect right now, with the way things are, I would come up to the top and I could hit Filter, and then right here you have Blur. Below that you have the Blur Gallery. We're not going to do that today. We're going to go to the one that says Blur and scroll down to where it says Radial Blur, and your pop-up box will come up. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit just OK with the default settings right now and show you what happens. All right, we blurred the main subject, which is not what we want to do. It could be a cool effect, but in this case we want to blur the background. So I'm going to hit Command Z or Control Z if you're on Windows, and what we're going to do is inverse our selection. That way we can blur the background. So we have the model selected, so just come up to the top where you see Select, and if you scroll down you see Inverse. As soon as you click that, now we have selected the background and no longer have the main model as the selection. Now go up to the top, do Filter, Blur, and then do Radial Blur. Now let me show you a couple settings here and let's see what it looks like. First of all, the amount is set to 10, and we have the blur method set to spin, and then we have the quality to good. So let's go ahead and change the quality to best, and we can leave it on spin right now, and I'm going to grab the amount and just drag it up to about, I don't know, 40. Now I'm going to hit OK, that way we can see what the effect looks like. Alright, so what it did is it kind of adds the spin effect, and now everything looks like it's going, you know, in a circle. And now we still have our selecting, so if you hit or selection, if you hit Command D to deselect, now we've got the blur and it's done. But I'm going to show you a different one. So I'm going to go to my history, go back to before I did that, where I just have my selection. Now Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. Now this time let's select Zoom, which is the second one. We can leave the quality to best, and I'm going to crank up the amount to about 70. Now you can use the drag and the little bar here to drag, or you can also click and enter numbers if you want. Now let's see what the zoom effect will do instead of the spin. I'm going to hit OK, and then now you can see it kind of zooms in a little bit from behind them. Now I want to show you one last thing and then we'll be done with this effect. So I'm going to hit Command Z. I'm going to go back and do Select. I'm going to do, Filter. I'm going to do Blur, and I'm going to do Radial Blur. Now I'm going to even increase it a little bit more. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go to 100%. Here's what I want to show you. In this blur center right down here, right in the middle is the center. You can grab that and move it to where the blur or the center will change. So like if your subject is not exactly in the middle, or you want a different effect, so I'm going to move it up to the top right and make this the center of the blur, and I'm going to hit OK. And now over here to the right, top right, is where the blur effect is the center of it, and everything else is going out. So I'm going to hit Command D to deselect, and now we've got a cool blur effect. So there's plenty of different styles of blur, but today we're just working with the radial, so you can try the spin or you can try the zoom and see what kind of cool effect you come up with. All right, thanks for watching.